9 News at 9 starts right now.
Good evening. I'm Kyle Clark.
I'm Alexandra Lewis. During this busy holiday travel period, state health officials are warning of possible measles exposure at DIA. They say an out-of-state passenger with a confirmed case of the highly infectious disease traveled through the airport and stayed at a nearby hotel. This happened last week. Health officials say they were contagious as they took the train, went through customs, and waited for their flight. They were at the international terminal on Tuesday, May 13th. They stayed the night at the Quality Inn nearby. Then they were back at the airport the next day. They boarded a domestic flight. Health officials say anyone exposed to measles on either of their flights will be notified directly. Measles can remain in the air for up to 2 hours after the infected person has left. Symptoms can develop 1 to 3 weeks after exposure. So if you experience any of those symptoms, call your doctor or healthcare center before going there to prevent any additional exposure.
It was just a beautiful spring day. Another one is on tap for tomorrow, and then things get spicy for the holiday weekend. Let's talk to Kathy Sabin about the forecast.
Timing is everything. And tonight is not entirely calm, believe it or not. A couple of storms have popped up over northern Colorado that I'm watching pretty closely tonight. But the high temperature today, 80 degrees. That's right. And we will go warmer tomorrow. We saw temperatures in the 90s out across the western slope today. And the wind has been the other big story. Parker, Kiowa, Elizabeth, Highlands Ranch, these winds coming in out of the south and southeast, 20 to 40 miles per hour. But it's a little wave crossing northern Colorado that has touched off a couple of little thunderstorms up in southeastern Wyoming, east of the Fort Collins area, tracking toward the east. Non-severe, but a lot of lightning, a lot of thunder, and some small hail with this system that is headed toward the Sterling area, and those showers are extending out into the Julesburg area. So not entirely quiet out there, and this makes sense at the Severe Storms Forecast Center. You know, we've kind of got an outlook for a couple of stronger storms there between now and midnight. Temperatures trend mild overnight, and then off we go. Tomorrow will be the warmest day of the week, ahead of the weekend when afternoon thunderstorms make a comeback. I'll have the timing and the windows for outdoor activities coming up.
A man was arrested at a bar in Golden after deputies say he followed a waitress into the bathroom and held her at gunpoint.
9 News reporter Ria Jha joins us now after learning more from investigators. Ria?
Yeah, the waitress told investigators she feared for her life during that attack and that she didn't know him and still doesn't know why she was targeted. Danger doesn't usually announce itself.
Just kind of a typical customer, and he asked to sit at a table. He sits down.
No one gave a second thought to 30-year-old Brandon Montano on Wednesday afternoon when he sat down at the Rock Rest Lodge and ordered a beer.
Then turned around and said that a friend of his had left an item in the bathroom there and asked the server if she could go in and look for it. The server said absolutely.
After speaking with the server, Jeffco Sheriff's Deputy Shauna Bakina explains
It kind of all happened really fast.
how in an instant that server had to rely on instinct.
She went into the bathroom and the suspect followed her into the bathroom, put her in what she described as a chokehold, and held a gun to her head.
Court documents say the server fought back, elbowing Montano, then grabbing his gun.
And she was able to kind of pull away from him and run out of the bathroom.
Other employees didn't hesitate, pinning him down until deputies arrived. Investigators say the server's quick thinking may have saved lives.
In this situation, the victim was very courageous, very brave, and what she did and how she handled it worked in this situation.
Investigators say Montano also had a knife and handcuffs on him. He's now in custody facing multiple charges, including kidnapping and assault. Ria Jha, 9 News.
New tonight, Colorado faces a lawsuit over a ban on helping people out of state come here to get medical aid in dying. Lawsuit was filed today on behalf of a 55-year-old man from Minnesota. The lawsuit says he has terminal intestinal cancer, which makes processing food extremely painful. Lawsuit says the man does not want aid in dying right now, but if his suffering becomes unbearable, he wants the option to come to Colorado to do that. Aid in dying is not legal in Minnesota. Lawsuit says that Colorado's residency requirement is unconstitutional because it denies people in other states the same rights as Coloradans and limits doctors' ability to take patients from out of state. Colorado Attorney General's office would not comment on that lawsuit.
Universities across the country are dealing with cuts to federal funds and grants as the Trump administration looks to slash the size of the federal government. CU says those cuts could cost the state's economy in the long run. CU Boulder says 56 sources of federal funding have been cut so far through grant terminations or stop work orders. That includes things like research to improve air quality near schools, creating educational AI materials, and helping the U.S. better compete for engineering jobs. Roy Parker leads the BioFrontiers Institute, where scientists from all kinds of backgrounds are working to solve problems. He says we could lose not just the development of life-saving drugs, but the scientists too.
Just in the last few months, I've been trying to hire 2 outstanding young faculty members. I think they're both going to take jobs in Europe because they don't see the opportunities here that they used to have a year ago.
CU got more than $740 million in research funding last year. The university says about 70% came from federal agencies.
Today, the White House released its Make America Healthy Again report, offering their analysis of what's driving chronic disease among children in the U.S. The report identified 4 major drivers behind the rise of childhood chronic illness: poor diet, environmental chemicals, chronic stress combined with a lack of physical activity, and over-medicalization. It called American children over-medicated and undernourished. The report suggested increased scrutiny on the childhood vaccine schedule and a review of the pesticides sprayed on crops. That commission will now work to create a plan to address those things over the next 3 months.
A panel of vaccine experts says COVID shots should be available to anyone who wants one this fall, but it's not ultimately up to them. Just days ago, the FDA issued new rules that would restrict access to the shots to only the most at-risk Americans. Under those rules, updated vaccines for healthy people under the age of 65 would have to undergo additional clinical trials. That means some people would get the vaccine while others would get a placebo. Shots would still be available for people 65 and up and those with any health condition that puts them at risk for severe illness. Today, a vaccine advisory committee unanimously voted to stick with the current vaccine policy. Their vote is only a recommendation, though. The FDA does not have to follow their advice.
Graduation season is here. It's time to celebrate seniors, and for teachers, an opportunity to reflect on all they have done to get them there.
9 News reporter Colton Chavez joins us from Sheridan High School after meeting with a group of seniors there today.
Well, they're getting ready for the big day tomorrow, and before they were Sheridan High School seniors, they were Sheridan Elementary School students with one very special 4th grade teacher.
Do you watch basketball?
A little bit.
You like Jason Tatum?
Yeah, he came to my hospital. I met him.
No way!
I did, yeah.
Before he was Dr. Mike Taglienti at Boston Children's Hospital,
I think this was, Jazz Lead, where's Jazz Lead? Look what I found.
Sheridan Elementary knew him as Mr. Tag.
I had quite a few teachers believe in me. He probably believed in me the most, which is pretty cool.
Mr. Tag says a teacher always remembers their first class, and he carried those memories with him when he became a student once again.
From the very beginning, I always knew I was going to leave. I knew I was studying for medicine. I was going to leave to go to med school to be a doctor.
8 years later, Mr. Tag is back from Boston because of a promise he made to those first students.
I'm rooting for you guys, and when you guys graduate, I'll be back.
The students didn't forget Mr. Tag either, and all of the lessons he taught them.
I definitely kept it all, and I was looking through it, and one thing that I think is so fun to look back on is those videos we made. Do you guys remember doing that?
No, I watch this a lot, so I'm actually kind of used to it.
A connection that means the most to Mr. Tag.
You're just trying to see how could you hopefully impact them in a way that goes beyond that 1 grade.
Now he says he can't wait to see his first students over the finish line from 4th grade to high school graduation.
I want to be a child psychologist. Any dream is possible, but it takes hard work.
Mr. Tag's dream of watching his students succeed is about to come true.
It's a symbolic thing, right? Watching these kids leave the classroom is symbolic. Being here with all these kids on this turf field where we played recess every day is symbolic. And watching them cross the stage will be huge. Thanks, guys.
And I have to say, this was just really a special moment to watch all of these high school seniors not only recognize their 4th grade teacher from all those years ago, but be able to have these lasting memories that they continue to share with each other. Now, these seniors will be graduating from the Colorado School of Mines location at 10 a.m. tomorrow. In Inglewood, Colton Chavez, 9 News.